Alright, this is going to also be a two-part thing before you can get to your quiz. This unit's organized a little bit differently. But anyway, algebraic expressions. First of all, order of operations. Okay? Everybody has heard PEMDAS. I do it a little bit. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. So parentheses go first. Those are going to go first. Okay? I probably just spelled that wrong. And then become exponents. Okay, so you do everything in parentheses first, then you do your exponents. Then comes multiplication and division. Look, it doesn't matter which one you do first. Multiplication and division, you're going to do it from left to right. So if division comes first from left to right, you're going to do your division before you do your multiplication. Okay? So it's not like multiplication has to come first. Same thing for adding and subtracting. Okay? This is another one we're going to do from left to right. Whichever one comes first in the equation is the one that you do. So if there's a subtraction before an addition, you're going to do a problem like that. So let's say, here's an example. 4 times 7 minus 2 divided by 2. Okay? Let's say that's our problem. So the way that we're going to do it is parentheses. There's no parentheses. Exponents. There's no exponents. Multiplication and division. We need to do the multiplication and division first. I have a multiplication problem here. I have a division problem here. So that's what I'm going to deal with. So I have 4 times 7. It's 28. Leave the minus sign. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 28 minus 1, 27. However, here's the great thing about this. If you type it into your calculator exactly like you see it, okay? 4 times 7 minus 2 divided by 2. Don't add any extra parentheses. Type it in like you see it. Hit enter. It gives you the answer, okay? All you have to know how to do is type it into the calculator correctly. That comes in really, really important in like example number 2. So now they're going to start doing something like this, like x squared minus 2x, x equals negative 5. Okay? Now, you're plugging negative 5 in for each one of the x's. But here's the important thing. If I'm plugging something in for a variable, I'm going to use parentheses. So I use parentheses negative 5 squared minus 2 times negative 5. Okay? Do you see how I replace the x's with negative 5, but I used a parenthesis? As long as I use the parenthesis, I can type it into the calculator like that, and it will give me an answer. Parenthesis, negative 5, close them, squared, minus 2, parenthesis, negative 5, equals. It gives you the answer. So the important thing here is making sure you use the parentheses. Use the parentheses, type it into the calculator, it gives you an answer. Let me give you another problem. Let's say that the problem is a squared minus 4 times b plus 7. And a equals 3 and b equals negative 2. Okay? So there's our new problem. We're dealing with two variables. Still not bad, okay? Replace the variables with the number. So where I see an A, I'm going to put a 3, but remember we're using parentheses. Squared minus 4 times, parentheses, negative 2 plus 7. Okay, so I have to add another parenthesis right here because of the negative 2. Once I have that, you can type it into your calculator. Okay? If you're going to do it the order of operations way, it says do parentheses first, then your exponents, and then you can multiply and divide. But we can also just type this piece right on in there. So we have parentheses 3 squared minus 4. That's my first set of parentheses. Now I got to have another set just for that negative 2. Plus 7. Another set of parentheses, enter. Tells me my answer is negative 11. Okay, so use your parentheses, type it in like you see it, and everything's going to work out just fine for you. If you ever end up with a fraction, so let's say we're doing 8 divided by 3, and it gives you that. Okay, so it gives you a decimal and your answer is as a fraction. See this little button down here at the bottom? Hit it. It changes it into a fraction for you. So now it says, hey, that's 8 over 3. But let's say that you need it as a mixed number. Okay, so you hit the second, and then that button, 2 2/3. Okay, so this is the reason I want you to have this calculator. That way you can make it do exactly what you want it to do. Okay, so this is part 1 of the video. After you finish this one, I want you to take notes for part 2 as well, and then you can start into your practice problems. All right.